Saturday morning, guys. Thanks for joining me on a Saturday. Today we're going to be doing the last video in the, oops, we have some echo. We are going to do the last video in the series of the Italian ladies. Sorry to mute myself up there. So the last video in the Italian Ladies Junk Journal series, if I do work outside of today, I will just photograph it and post it in the group. We should be very near the finish line. They're already very near the finish line. So after today, I'll just post in the group whatever I work on. But there shouldn't be too terribly much that we don't discuss while we're here. I have to reach over a bunch of things to get to the mouse. So I have to get super close to the camera. So good morning, guys. Thanks for joining me on a Saturday. Yeah, it's 7 a.m. here. I've been up since 4:30, and I think I went to bed around 12:30. I did sew some things that needed sewn. I glued in all of the pockets in at least the green journal. The other two journals, I haven't quite got them far enough along to sew or to glue the pockets in, but we can be doing that off camera and just photograph. It's the same as the green journal. So we will keep going with them. I did not get coffee. It's too early and I just didn't have time to go get coffee. So we're just doing it with sleepy face. I can see the camera. My face is sleepy face. Anyway, we're going to work on these journals today. So the green one has all the pockets glued in. The very first thing I want to do is to look at the ephemera pieces and kind of sort what we have, keeping in mind there are 3 journals. So basically I need to make 3 piles of all the pockets and tags, or not pockets, all of the tags and journal cards that we've made. I know we don't have very many journal cards, so we probably will still be making some ephemera today. The last half of this video, however long we go today, I don't have a time limit. So sleepy face absolutely looks like this. It's very, very puffy. Anyway, we probably will do the last half of today, the lacy stuff and finishing touches. I'm going to try to get everything in pockets and make whatever ephemera that we need. So hopefully I can move past the ephemera making stage and on to the putting those final touches on. If you want to craft and make whatever, I'm doing today, basically, I'm adding lace, clusters, making the clusters and kind of, page embellishments. I'll put, whatever I need to tag top lace or tabs or sari silk or seam binding or whatever on all of the tag tops. Any type of paper clipped in items will get clipped in. Ephemera, like antique ephemera, will get stuffed in the pockets. They are going to be very fat journals. So hopefully those of you who have already purchased the 2 of them are good with very fat journals. So that's what that's what I have planned on doing today. We will see how far I get. But this is officially the last video for these journals. On Tuesday, we will have a Halloween journal kit available. And then from Tuesday, we will begin working on that Halloween journal. I will work ahead of you guys a little bit, knowing that you can't purchase a kit on Tuesday and have it by Friday. But the videos will be there, and I'll start with some really basic stuff, and that'll just kind of give you guys an idea of a jumping off point. And then every Friday and possibly Saturday throughout the month of September, we will work on the Halloween journal. When I say Halloween, it could be fall. If you're not into Halloween, it absolutely could be fall. I announced that journal last night, so if you weren't here last night, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a Tim Holtz themed or style. We're using a lot of his Halloween or fall ephemera. It's not, the one I'm making is not scary, gory, whatever, spooky. It's just more lightly Halloween themed. At least that's what's in my head. I will see what happens as I work in it. But the base of this new journal kit is a fabulous orange antique bingo card. And it's a giant bingo card, and it's thick, and it's stitched around, and it has all these little, cute embellishments already on it. It's perfect. It's very, very vintage. And so that's going to be the cover of my journal. I'm going to make mine a ring bound journal. So completely different style of journal than anything we've ever done in a kit before. Ring bound, using an antique bingo card as the cover. I will make a back for it so that there is a beginning, a front cover and a back cover. And then I'll put all the pages in, and then we'll decorate all the pages. This should be a fun, low stress kind of a make, because basically when you do things with Tim Holtz ephemera, they're easy because everything goes together. And I do have other elements that are not Tim Holtz mixed in, because I don't want every single thing to be just that. I do have vintage ephemera and things like that we're putting in, but it's such an easy journal to put together when you do stuff with Tim Holtz. So anyway, that's what we're doing for the next one, and we'll work on that the entire month of September. That way those Halloween, fall, whatever journals are done, so people can use them in the month of October. Also, if you don't want to use the bingo card as a cover, it is a large, it's like 8 by 8 inches or something. It's a large bingo card. It is also just a great piece of home decor for Halloween or fall or whatever. So that's the plan. I want to do something fun. After I work on a very frilly, super highly decorated kind of journal that we're working on now with the Italian ladies, I kind of like to go a little bit the opposite direction and do something a little less stress, a little less Victorian antique. Like, this is vintage. Halloween is vintage. But to me, it's just mentally less stress than the super, super frilly kind that we're doing now. So I see Christy is here, Carolyn is here, Faith Ann is here, Joanne is here. I think that's what we have for this morning. That's pretty good start. Pretty good start for as early as it is, especially if you're on the West Coast. So guys, I don't know yet because I haven't costed it out, but in the range of all the other kits, there is, a little bit more expense when you, because I have to purchase the Tim Holtz things. I don't buy them wholesale. I have to purchase them just the same way everyone else purchases them. So I'm paying a retail price for them. And then the bingo card. So it's around the same range. It may be slightly cheaper. It will not be more than the last kit for sure. We'll have to figure that out here in the next couple of days, but we will get it done. Good morning, Ria. Good morning. And so I was trying to fall asleep and I couldn't sleep last night. And I'm like, so is it iris or is it irises? And so I looked it up and it was irises. And I'm like, okay, so it just sounds weird. But for multiple iris flowers, it's irises. Like, okay, well, that's what came out. But when you say things live, sometimes your brain's like, wait a minute, is it really that? And so, yeah, I was second guessing myself. And that's just the stupid things I think about as I'm supposed to be falling asleep. I know. So, yeah, that's what was happening as I was falling asleep. Crazy, right? So I guess I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to get... right. There's many different ways it could have went. We're going to flip the camera down and we're going to get started. So it is a holiday weekend. And so I hope you guys are going to get some crafty time in. Maybe you're not having to work on Monday and maybe you can get some crafty time in there. A lot of you guys are making the Italian ladies journals. If you are and you haven't posted yet, I would appreciate if you post in the group so that I can see, your finished journal or where you are in your progress. So if you guys haven't posted, post so I can see your progress if you want to. And then when I'm done with these, I'll film a flip through video and I'll put the flip through video on my channel and I probably will share the link in the group also. You guys will see most of it here because you've been working on it with me. But the flip through is kind of just, like a page by page kind of a thing. So I'll do that. 2 have been sold. 1 is available, maybe. So we'll see how that one goes. When I say maybe, it's because I may end up keeping it. But we'll see how it goes. And then as far as other journals go, I have the 3 journals that we made prior to these 3. And those everything is made for them. It just all needs glue. The pockets need glued in, and they just need all the ephemera stuck in them. Everything is made. All the ephemera is made. The covers are made. The signature is sewn in. Those ones will be done in a matter of days once I finally have time to sit down and finish them, like by just gluing the stuff in. That's literally all that's left. So those 3 will also be available. So if this Italian ladies was not your theme or they're sold out, there's the other 3 that we never posted for sale. I've yet to put a journal in Etsy. It just never ever happens. They all sell before it gets to Etsy, which is great. So I don't want to have to make the Etsy listing. So we have those 3 plus possibly an Italian one that'll be available. I don't know if I'll have them on Tuesday or what, but we'll see how quickly I can get them finished. I do need to pack up your guys' stuff and send your invoices this weekend. So all of that will happen too. So if you're waiting on an invoice, just know that it will come. I'm really hoping before Monday, and your tracking number will come at the exact same time as your invoice. So just, right, the Etsy fees. I mean, honestly, Square, if you guys use Afterpay, it's the same as the Etsy fees anyway. So it doesn't really matter to me which way it goes. It's more or less like, in Etsy to sell a journal, to take the photos. For me, it's like, well, you're limited on how many photos you can put in an Etsy listing. And when you're talking about like an entire journal, you're talking about limiting, maybe 6 photos of the interior because you have to show the cover and all kinds of other things, right? So you don't really get to show as much as I would like to show in an Etsy listing for a journal. I know that you can put a short little video, but again, the flip through video shows the journal in its entirety. And I just wish for journals they would allow us to do like maybe, a 3-minute flip through or something more than they do. I've never tried to list a journal in there because I haven't had to, but when I think about having to do it, I think about, well, how will a buyer, unless they watch the flip through, how will they know like what the journal really is? Because when you limit it to that, few pictures, you get a feel maybe, but you don't really get like the whole, this is what this journal is. So I don't know. We'll see. Eventually I'll probably put some in there, but we'll see. I know wallets need a break. There are quite a few past due invoices. I'm not talking specifically to Ria. There are quite a few past due invoices. And so if you guys have past due invoice, please catch that up as soon as you can. I don't want things to continue to fall behind. So when I invoice over the weekend, obviously, I'm not stressed about that getting paid that exact day, but I don't want things to continue to fall behind. And one of the reasons why I'm delaying the Italian paper is because there are so many unpaid invoices, and the Italian paper, it has the potential to snowball again. So anyway, if you guys have outstanding invoices, if you don't know if you have an outstanding invoice, just check your email. I will go through this weekend and send reminders to everyone who has an outstanding one. So if you look by Monday, you should have an email with a reminder to pay an outstanding invoice. If you guys find that, just pay it. Or if you can't pay it, something's going on, message me and let me know. Because when I don't hear from people and they've had an outstanding invoice for a couple of weeks, that's where, I don't know what's going on, basically. So anyway, enough about all of that kind of stuff. It is a challenge to showcase the journals. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Carol. You don't do flip throughs? Oh, well, there are Facebook groups. So in my Facebook group, the Junk Journal Makers Facebook group, we are going to allow you guys to set, when I say we, it's just me. I don't know why everything is a we, but I am going to allow you guys to sell in the Facebook group. It's one of the main reasons I created it, is so that when you make things, whatever it is that you're making, you can post it for sale in there. The Facebook group, the Junk Journal Makers, my Facebook group, is at like 780 members as of this morning. So we are near 1,000. When we get to 1,000, which should be a week or two, hopefully, maybe at most, It's kind of snowballing now, and we're getting, 20 or 30 members a day that just randomly pop up and say, hey, YouTube recommended, me, or I searched YouTube or whatever. But when we get to 1,000 members in the Facebook group, you guys will be able to post for sale ads for things that you're selling, including if you film a little video of a flip through of a journal. So for Carolyn, who maybe doesn't do YouTube videos, maybe you can film a quick little flip through with your phone and just upload that video to your Facebook, and then share that video with an ad, hey, this is the journal, this is how much it is, etc. And then you'll be able to sell your journal in the group. There are other groups that also allow you to sell journals. There is a specific group, which I don't know off the top of my head, that is only for selling completed junk journals. If you guys do a search, you're part of that group. Okay, good. So there is a group that's just for selling completed junk journals. It's not for selling other things. It's not for, hey, I made this cute pocket. It's only for selling junk journals. So that's an option too. In that group, I think there are far more sellers of journals than there are buyers of journals, but you never know. It's a good thing to kind of spread it out amongst different Facebook groups. But a lot of people here, so this is if you're not aware, this is one way Facebook groups kind of work when it comes to selling journals. If you are posting your progress as you make a journal, like if you share, hey, I worked in my journal today and I made this spread. This is a journal that you're hoping to sell at some point. Hey, I made this spread. Look, show pictures of it. Hey, I made this tag a couple of days or a week later, or whatever the case may be. If you're sharing your progress along the way, you will find people who like what you're making and who fall in love with your journal well before it is finished. So by the time you post, hey, this journal is finished and it's available, you more than likely have people who are interested. So that's another reason why I like you guys to kind of post what you're making if you're planning on selling it. Because even though we're not at 1,000 and you can't directly sell in the group, by posting your progress, a lot of times people will contact you in private messages and ask, is this journal going to be available for sale? And then you two can work out, selling the journal that way too. So it doesn't have to be where the group is at 1,000 members, but if you're sharing your progress as you're making it, you'll probably pick up people who are interested. So that's another good way of using my Facebook group. My Facebook group is not really supposed to be all about me. As we get more members, they will be posting all of their stuff and you guys will see me less. Right now, there isn't a whole lot of members. The Facebook group's like a month old or 5 or 6 weeks or something like that. I don't remember, but it's very young. But as it continues to grow and we get more and more members posting in there, it will be less and less about me. Right now, I'm kind of just carrying it. And we're all kind of carrying it. All of our original members are kind of carrying it. But as it grows, there will be a lot bigger variety in there too. So I don't want anyone to think the Facebook group is just all about me. That is not what it was designed for. I have my own channel that is all about me, right? So the Facebook group is supposed to be more about you guys and everything that we're doing here as a group, but also sharing over there. So hopefully the Facebook group takes off. I mean, it's doing far better than I ever thought it was going to do for 5 or 6 weeks in. So I think it has the potential to do really well. And you guys are all original members of it. So that's awesome too. We will have some special things for that first 1,000 members who joined the Facebook group. So that's all coming. And yeah, there's a lot going on in there. It's a young group, but it's really awesome to watch it grow and to see how, people are posting. And as we get new members, they will also post. So it's really good. I like seeing what everybody's doing. It kind of feels a little bit nosy sometimes to be like, hey, what are you making? Oh, you're making hey, I really like that. I'm going to make a pocket like that. I don't know. I think that's kind of how our group is, how our junk journal community is we look for inspiration through videos on YouTube or posts on Facebook or whatever, Pinterest even. You're looking for inspiration. And then if you find something that you like, You don't copy it one for one. I mean, you can, but generally everybody has their own style. So even if I was trying to copy, like Rachel made Italian ladies' journals. My Italian ladies' journals are entirely different than her journals. And I'm not trying to do a one for one. I'm taking something I saw that I liked and I appreciated in her digital kit and putting my own spin on it. And so I think that's another, great thing about Facebook groups is you see the inspiration and then you can take that inspiration and turn it into whatever it is that you want to create with it with your own style. So I have been looking at, so whether you got the kit or you made it with supplies you already had for the August Italian Ladies Junk Journal kits, all of the journals are different. They're all extremely different. And that was something for me when I did the very first kit back in January, the very first junk journal kit that I made. It was a neutral junk journal kit. And we sold, I don't know, 45, 50 of them, something, a lot of them. And everyone posted, because we had like a little promotion going or something like that. Everyone posted their pictures of their journals. And when I made the kit, in my head, I just figured all of the journals would kind of look similar, right? Because we were all like using the same supplies for the most part. And so it was just amazing to see what you guys made out of a kit that I made, because I made stuff, the journals that I made came from that same kit and they had one look, but everyone else, they have their own style. And so even though they're using the same supplies, the journals all come out very, very unique and different and tailored to whoever's making its style. And I love that. It was something that I wasn't really expecting them to look as different as they did. And I was just shocked and amazed that, even from the same basic kit, everyone can make something so beautiful, so different, so whatever their personal style is. So that was great to watch. Great to watch. That's really why I like making the kits. If I'm being perfectly honest, I love seeing what you guys do with it. It's almost more like that nosy feeling of, hey, if I ship you this set of supplies, I get to kind of watch what you guys do with it. I don't know. It's really a good feeling. So I love it. We're not going to stop doing junk journal kits ever because I think they're very, very fun. And so, yeah, it is. And I often see you guys make something and I'm like, oh, I never that thought of that pocket or using that item that way never even occurred to me. And I've been doing this a really long time and I've seen a million things. But you guys do things that I haven't seen, just like sometimes I do things you guys haven't seen. And so it is inspiration for me also, but it's just a good feeling to see. It's a way of me getting to know you guys too, because I kind of get a feel for like what your style is a little bit better. And so I kind of like that aspect of it, because being friends on, Facebook or being friends through YouTube videos, it's really different than being friends in real life. But that's seeing each other's work and each other's creative process, I think brings us that much closer to that friendship in real life, how that feels, right? So that's another reason why I really, really like doing the kits. Everyone's journal is different, and that's the way it's supposed to be. No one is supposed to be like one for one copy. Even if someone made a one for one copy, I would just be like, wow, I'm honored, because I'm not that kind of person that's like, don't do that. I would feel incredibly honored. Not that anyone's gonna one for one copy mine. Mine's not like, whatever. I'm just saying, if someone did, to me, it would be more of, I feel so honored that, you liked what I made enough to make one also. So that's kind of where I come with all of that kind of stuff. Awesome, guys. Let's get started. Let me reach my face close to the monitor to find the mouse. I have to reach over a big bin of paper. Let me read through a little bit of chat. And I need to put glasses on so I can actually read chat. Okie dokie. Let's get started. Hello to anyone that I missed saying hello to. I'm going to flip the camera down. I will begin with showing you the things I worked on while you were not with me yesterday. It wasn't much because I was tired. I don't know. I have all of these little scraps here, and some of them are teeny, teeny, tiny scraps. So let's push those off to the side. Get those in a pile. All right. Where did I leave off? These. So remember one of the very first videos we made? I stamped fabric and I made these little pockets. They needed sewn around, and I told you guys I was going to come in with some scripty stamp and stamp in the background of the flower and the little postage stamp. So these are pockets now. So it's like, it's a shipping tag that I did collage of antique ledger page and some music and a little number strip. And then I just stamped on fabric. This is actual fabric, and sewed a little pocket. So sewed the fabric onto the tag, and now it's a little pocket there. So I don't know if we'll use them in this journal or in these journals because we have a ton, but that one's done. This is simply a pocket. So what I did is I sewed the stamped fabric to a piece of cardstock to make a pocket. And so you would just stick, I lost my little tag, you would just stick something in it, but you would glue it down like a regular pocket. So those two I sewed around just because I was at the sewing machine and sewing things. These also got done. These are there's 3 of them now. I have 0 space on this desk. So there's 3 of these now. This was the original one. So it's a sheer little pocket that we can stick a journal card in or whatever, and you can kind of see through it. It's super, super sweet and gauzy and light looking. This is doubled up book page. I'm going to glue this onto a page. There might be another tuck back here. It depends. These journals are super fat, but I did sew the other 2 or make the other 2. There is going to be a little cluster embellishment somewhere on here. It may not be this exact one. I may do something a little more frilly or lacy and keep it all neutrals. But I did, see there's the we again, sew those as well. Then I sewed these, but we're about ready to glue the lace and embellishments onto these. So just so you know, I folded over the edge and sewed a hem at the top, and then I sewed the fabric piece to my reinforced book page. From there, we're going to glue on our lace, and we're going to do that here first so it can dry. And then we're going to glue on these little clusters, and that's going to be that pocket. And each one of these has a specific tag that goes in here, but that's how that works. I do need to add some more fabric embellishments. Each one has a cluster that's already built. This cluster is actually already glued on. And because I didn't glue my clusters on first, specifically for this gauzy one, I'm going to have to stick some glue page in there so that when you glue this to this, it doesn't actually go through and glue your pocket shut. So just stick some glue page in there when you're gluing this on. Kind of do it carefully. Anyway, so that's one of the things I did while we were not live yesterday. Last night. The other thing is I glued all of our pockets in. This is upside down. Yes. Glued all of our pockets in. So I glued this pocket here. I finished a little bit more collaging up there. I glued this pocket here. I did struggle with placement a little bit of the pockets. Ultimately, they're all going to be beautiful and fine. So there's that pocket. We need to make piles. I might not do a whole flip through right now because you're going to see me make piles of ephemera and stuff it in here. But anyway, I went through and glued all of the pockets in. Like here's the little corner pocket. I embellished this pocket a little bit. So anyway, all the pockets are glued in. This is the tag for one of those fabric pockets. So let's make our piles of ephemera. That's completed. And then let's glue the lace on those fabric pockets. You could use any type of plastic or parchment paper or whatever to stick in there. Um, Guys, give me just 1 second. My son needs me. I'll be a few minutes. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So sorry about that. My son is sick. Sorry about that. Okay. You're just crafting away. Cool, cool. Okay, back where I was started. Back what I was doing. Oh my gosh. I've lost my train of thought now. Let's get this lace glued on. Then let's separate, while those are drying, let's separate out that pile of ephemera for the 3 journals. I'm assuming this lace goes here. Okay, we need fabric tack. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I know. Saturday morning craft with me. I feel so much better crafting on Saturday morning than I do late at night. Late at night, like for Friday night craft with me. Honestly, I'm pretty tired by the time that rolls around. So Saturday morning, I think works better for me. I'm going to stick this in here so I can glue. That'll work. Let me cut it in half and then open it up so we have enough for the 3 pockets. I'm really just concerned with them getting stuck together. But Saturday morning, I can't get it open now. Saturday morning, I do feel like I have a little bit more energy. And I also think that based off last Saturday, my creativity was a little happier than late at night. We might be moving craft with me to Saturday at some point. I don't know. Not officially yet, but a lot of people can't join on a Saturday because, you know, they have other errands to do. It's maybe their only day off or whatever. So, you know, to do other chores. So I don't know. We'll talk about moving it or leaving it, or maybe we'll just leave it like we've been doing, where it's in addition to Friday. We'll see how. I always make my kits like and my journals so inclusive, like they have so much stuff that it generally takes more time than 4 sessions to complete the journals. At least for me, like everyone can work at their own pace, obviously. But for me, for these ones, it took, what is this, number 7? So it took 7 sessions to get everything done. And that was not really working off camera. That was just working with you guys here. That's a little too wet. I don't have any dry ones. I don't want the glue seeping through the little holes of the lace. So I'm kind of trying to tap it down. I'll get it on my finger. So let's let that one dry for a little bit. Where is its little cluster? Right here. That looks good. So we're just going to glue this a little bit. I'm not going to put a ton. We've got our plastic in there so it doesn't glue shut. And from here, you're just kind of placing it wherever you want to place it. Pushed it down, and we're good there. Let's let that one dry. We'll set it over there to dry. Let's do this one. So what are you guys working on today? What you working on? You just hanging out with me, or are you working? How do you guys feel about Tim Holtz Halloween fall journals? Whatever they end up being at the end. It's my first time doing a fall or Halloween kit. So I wasn't sure how many people, you know, make for a theme like that. Like, you know, all of these other kits were themed, but they were more, you know, a general theme. I think they're going to be fun because they are different. You know, so far we've done really frilly, lacy, girly journals. These are still girly, but the Halloween I'm doing is still girly. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Trying to keep this straight. This one is a little, the lace is a little bent. It just got crinkled up in the bin. And it doesn't want to behave itself right now. So hopefully they're straight. And glue this cluster down. You could have just pinned it to the pocket instead of gluing it. But I'm gluing mine. Now, someone will have to write over this. It's not impossible. And I was thinking about making writing boards anyway. Not that you absolutely have to have a writing board. I didn't put a whole bunch of stuff, but I might just do a writing board because it's something nice to include with the journals. So there's that one. If my son needs me again, I might have to pop back out for a few minutes. Just know that if I pop back out, I'm coming back. He's not feeling well right now. Joanne is adding lace and ribbon and washi to her journals. Cool. I also need to do that or something similar. It's kind of like pressing it down and spreading the glue out at the same time. Okay. I will be so happy when we get a new bottle of Fabri-Tac. And now my fingers are too gluey. And this cluster is already stuck on. So we're good there. I think these pockets look great, but when they have their matching tags in them, they look so much better. I love the little pocket with the little tag. It's the ones with the ladies with the pink in their dresses. Those are the tags that go in here. I really like the way they came out. I probably will be making pockets like this again. Trying to get the glue off my fingers. Okay. Moving on. It's kind of straight. Kind of straight. I'm going to leave it because the more I mess with it, the less straight it probably is going to end up. Okay. Let me get rid of, are we done with Fabri-Tac? I didn't put plastic in there because we don't need it. We can save the plastic for another one. These ones, I'm not sure if I want to do a cluster that's very similar to the other one. So let's wait and let's do some, I think I want more of a neutral antique lace kind of stuff on this one. So let's leave those, but just know those need to come in the journals. They're not glued in yet. So let me put away the Fabri-Tac and we will start making our piles of ephemera. And so I didn't make 3 of every single individual thing, at least yet. I'm focused on making and finishing the green one with you. This is the green one. And then I'll obviously have these 2 later. So I need 3 piles of ephemera. I need 1 pile for the green one and 1 pile for each of the other ones. These are pockets, and we know those are going in. And these, I don't know if they're going in, but they're just leftover ephemera. We can leave those to the side. This, it doesn't really look like that much now, but there is a lot of ephemera already in the green one. So basically, we're looking for things to fill our pockets. I'm just going to fill this one, and then whatever I need to make for the other 2, I'll make. I have a ton. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is a ton of bases already prepared up there. So we need something pretty for this. I could just put, and I probably will just put a piece of antique ephemera in this pocket. So this little pocket just peeled up. I think it's okay, but I'm going to put a piece like a folded antique document right in here. I'm trying to keep things flat. I don't want the journal to get too gator mouth. We do need something for this pocket. So I want you guys to be able to see the ephemera as I go through. Hello, Wen of Zen. Hello, hello. So let's find something, preferably a lady, because we have lots of botanicals going on. She will not match color-wise. We had a place for her last night. If I put this giant thing in here, it fits pretty well. We might put that in there. Let's see if there's something better. That we're not sure about. These are too small. And there's a label there that I'm not sure about. This little lady tag might go in there. This is a good pocket for this piece because it is so large. This is the piece that folds out. So large. We might stick it in there. Although this journal, it's really fat already. There's also these tags. So this one with the lady. I kind of like the blue and the blue. I might do that one. Let's leave her in there for now. And let's move on so we don't take forever to decide. All of these are good. They all have stuff in them. They're all good. This I may just leave like that. We'll see how chunky the journal gets. This is the place where one of these is going. So whatever one I chose and its tag will be glued down to this page. So we're leaving that as a placeholder. So we don't need to do anything there. We need stuff for these pockets. These are two really large pockets. Let's see what we have that we haven't looked at yet. Like this could go in there. It doesn't have to be something gigantic. I kind of like that in there. Although I thought we had a place for this at some point. But we could leave that in there. And then we need something very large for that back one. And these are very, very large. What about putting the brown tag in there? They're actually a little too tall. A little too tall. They stick out. So she can't go in there. All of them are the same height. So they cannot. So we still need something for this. And what I'm really thinking is a large journal card. So I have some coffee dyed journal cards. And for now, as a placeholder, I'm going to put a coffee dyed journal card if it fits. Too big. I want to cut this down basically and put this in there. So it's going to be a reminder. I'm leaving it here to know, hey, you need to make a big journal card for this pocket. So we'll add things like that as placeholders as we go. So we have this flip out here. That's all fine. There's writing space, basically a little hidden writing space. We need a small tag for this pocket. I am going to use a printed tag for here, but I don't have that one done either. So we need a printed tag for here. So this is the placeholder for that pocket. Again, it's too big, but that just shows me we need it. We need something pretty to show through that one. These ladies are too big. So when I say printed tag, a smaller printed tag like this doesn't have to be, one from Rachel's Kits, but to go in that pocket. This would be a cute one there, but it needs to be smaller. So that's easy enough to do, but we do need something that we can show through this window here. Again, I've moved all of my ephemera off. So we still have ephemera to make. A couple little things. These are too small. I do have bases over there. We might just go ahead and make this right now on the fly because we're here. We might as well. So I don't see anything that's pre-made to go in there, but these are our bases. So we have like tucks and pockets. I have prepped pages. I've got some more envelopes. These are all prepped pages. These are our bases to make a tag to go in there. So we could use that and decorate it. Also use this one. I'm looking at the width of them. They're about the same. We could use that one or that one. Or a skinny tag. A little skinny tag might be cute in there. Okay, so we have many choices to decorate for that. We also have all of these prepared as well. That one might be a good option. And I've got blank skinny ones. Okay, so let's just make something. Do I want collaged or non-collaged? We didn't do collaged anywhere else over here, so let's do collaged. Let me see how well this slides in and out before I make it. So the problem with sliding collaged things down into pockets is they often get stuck, as that one is. The skinnier little tag will definitely be better in there. It's ever so slightly too short. Okay, we're going to make this one. Are we? I really want collage. I guess we're going to make this guy. So let's put something pretty off to the left-hand side so it can show through this window. The first thing I need to do is see what I'm catching. Rachel's kits. Rachel is Roxy Creations on Etsy. So go to Etsy and search Roxy Creations. You'll see her kits pop up. So this one should go in there. There's nothing that it's catching on. Yeah, it's just the collage bits catching. It's a little fiddly. My window actually tore right there, which is still okay. But let's decorate this guy. He can go in there. We could do like a little lady kind of showing through the window. There is no other lady in here, so maybe something with a lady. That's probably fairly quick to do. Let me find my printed ladies, and we'll do those. I need to move these journals somewhere. Somewheres. I don't know where. There's literally no space to put anything in here. Let me put these journals this way so all the ephemera doesn't fall out. Yep. Okay. Hello, Rosa. Hello, hello. Okay. So I'm going to find a little lady. What I'm talking about is a lady like this. She's probably a little large, and we need something where the lady is really centered over to the left. Let me go ahead and cut her out. I kind of like the colorway that she is. Let me cut her out and we'll make her smaller. I do have this one, like right here in front of me, or I have either of these. Maybe we could do the little lady reading the book because I kind of like the blue with the blue. Let's look at that. We have options. So I'm going to quickly cut around her everything but the head. And then I go in with my fussy cutting scissors and cut around the head just because they're sharper, and they're smaller, and I can get around all of the fine little points. We will have to cut some of her dress off anyway because, you know, I'm trying to make her fit, excuse me, in a specific spot. So I kind of get the base cut out. These are scans of my antique documents and things. So I am making a digital. The digital, I'm just going to put this digital of these ladies in my Etsy. I can sell you guys printed page packs of it if you do not have a printer, or if you just want printed. If you want the printed pages from me, I'll do that. But I am going to put it in Etsy because I have a lot of people who have been asking who do not attend my live sales. So Vintage Paper Girl, which is Lorette Chandler, she asked me to make the digital over on Instagram. So I'm going to make the digital, and that way she'll be able to get it. She doesn't, I don't know if she knows about the live sales or what. I'm going to make it so that everyone can just get it in Etsy, and it's just going to be a kit of all of the ladies. They're not going to be like put into a page kit, at least not at this point. I just want you to have the fussy cuts of the ladies so you guys can play with them. Many of you guys have ones very similar to these from me, but not these exact ones. These I scanned at a later time, and they're a little bit, I think, better for fussy cutting. So I'm being really, really like detailed with her hair and the little book and everything. You don't need to be. You could have just fussy cut her much faster. So some of her is going to get cut off because I want her over to this side. So I'm going to kind of just place my tag in there and line her up where I think she needs to go height-wise. This tag is going to need a tab at the top so that it's easy to pull in and out of there. But yeah, we're just going to put her over there. And then we're going to cut, like I have more of them. There's a whole, I don't know how many ladies there are, but there's a whole file that I've been kind of editing the ladies out of the pages. So they'll be really easy for you guys to fussy cut, and I'll put all the ladies like on pages. So it's coming. So you guys will have that for forever. Let's glue her on. Do we need to put anything behind her, or are we just going to put her on there and then maybe put a little decoration over there? That's kind of what I'm feeling. Moving things. I do want to ink around her just a little bit. Nothing too much. With these, I did not print them with the laser printer. These are printed with the inkjet, and they need a little tiny bit, in my opinion. We're going to cut off most of the backside of her dress, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I do like to give her face a little bit of color. These are just a little pale looking, in my opinion. I'm giving her head a little color, and then her hands. And it's not an exact science. You just get what you get. And then generally, I like to just kind of go over the whole thing. It darkens the color up from the printer ever so slightly. Okay, so she's going to show right through that window. That's more or less for my eye to gauge where to glue her at. Let's glue her. Let's glue her there-ish. If we miss, we miss. And then we have a tag for some other spot. You could measure, you could do lots of things. We're just gonna guess it. We should be able to do it, but if I end up missing, then we'll just make a different one. So hello to any new people who have joined. Thank you for watching Craft with me on Saturday. I don't really need to glue much of her back of her dress because we're going to cut it off. Okay. So for placing her, you could have put book page or something. Trying to keep her head from getting cut off. There is some space there, so she doesn't have to be all the way over. Let me see where we think we're at with that. That might be good. Her face might get cut. We'll see. I don't want like a body and the face not showing. We'll see how we did here. Let me cut off this extra so we can slide her in and take a peek. And then we need to make a tab for the top. So right now, I need to actually pull up this plastic. Oh, we're good here. She looks so cute. She looks so cute in there. She's just reading her little book. Let's make the tab and put something off to the side over here. So we need a little something here in the tab. For the tabs, I have the Florentine paper, and I'm just going to use this one. So these are coming. New ones are coming. We're going to glue this to some cardstock and punch out a tab. I do somewhere in here have a piece of cardstock that I was doing this with for a different tab. If you have a scrap, just use a scrap, but I'm just going to kind of gauge the size of a tab. And glue it to here. So that I can punch one out. And I do this so that the tab is sturdy. The Florentine paper, it's really, really nice paper, but it's not strong enough, in my opinion, to use as a tab without strengthening it. So I just glued it to some cardstock. Sorry if you guys couldn't see that. From there, normally you would wait for this to dry, but I'll be impatient and just punch it. Trying to get, something I like in there. There we go. Now we have a tab. I almost punched a bunch of these this morning. I guess I don't need to leave that there because I figured we were going to use them. So this does need to dry for just a few minutes. While it's drying, let's go ahead and ink lightly. You guys know I do not like to ink things. I'm only doing it to cover up, whatever I think needs covered. It's on ivory cardstock. So anyway, there's that. We will stick that on in just a minute. Let's find some kind of little decoration for right here. I have some little labels that are sitting right in front of me. And to my knowledge, we did not use any of these labels in here. So let's stick this one right there. It's kind of cute. Do I have a better option? Maybe one of these. I really need to stop being so picky about things. See, I need one that goes up and down though, and all of those are mostly horizontal. We're just going to go with my first choice. You could also decorate the tab by adding a little embellishment on it. The one thing I, wish that these did not have, these little labels are from Paper Cameo. I wish that they did not have rounded corners. I wish that they were straight corners. That's the only complaint I have. And it's just because cutting the rounded corner proves to be challenging for me. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're just going to kind of position that up there. I think that's fine. It just gives a little something there. At this point, we are in the finish it up mode. So maybe we'll go, well, we do have a tab, so we won't go so high because we have a tab. It looks kind of like, maybe I should have put it a little higher, but see, this tab is coming up here. So we're good. Let's get our tab on. So fold it up. Give it a little press. It's still a little wet. And then let's glue it. you probably could use glue stick, but I'm just gonna glue it with our glitter. So I saw some people working on some projects this morning. That's awesome. Florentine paper. Oh my gosh, this is Florentine paper. It's from Italy. It has all of this lovely little gold detail in it. It's like an antique gold. There is tons and tons of different patterns. I sell it here on the channel, and it comes from Italy. I bring it over from Italy, and basically it's, you know, it's really great paper for collage, for decorating things. It could be pages in a journal. It can be many, many things. Just need to straighten this up. Can be many, many things, but it's fabulous to work with. All of the ladies in chat, tell her what Florentine paper is. I sold it a month ago now, maybe, or something. And everyone loves it, including myself. It's fabulous to work with. See how we just made a little, and see, it also helps with the back too. We didn't quite get that straight, but mostly straight. So I'll go ahead and ink this side because it's got coffee dyed paper on it. And then we're putting it in. But Florentine paper. If you look in the Facebook group, are you a member of the Facebook group? The Facebook group, people posted pictures. I always catch on something right there. I don't know what, but something. So there's our little lady in our envelope. And I love how this little tab sticks out right there telling you, hey, you can pull this. And we're going to I'm going to print a little tag that goes here and a little tag that goes here. These are just kind of placeholders for right now. So that's that one. Let's make something else. This one is good. We'll do final embellishing on that one, but that one's good. We have this pocket. This needs a journal card. So we need to make some journal cards. We have a lot going on. This is Florentine paper here. This little pink pocket is Florentine paper. Yeah, Florentine paper. Joanne posted a beautiful picture of hers. I don't know who else did, but there is lots of Florentine paper pictures of what I sold before in the Facebook group. But I'll have it here in a week or two, maybe this Tuesday. I'm not this Tuesday, I guess, but in a week or two, we'll have it. So we could make a journal card out of this. This fits in there nicely. It doesn't go in too far. And I like the way that we have scripty on it. So this is already backed to coffee dyed paper. It is quite sturdy. It's antique. This is French ledger, but anyway, let's make a journal card out of that. We need a lady here. There is no ladies. There's lady there, but there's no lady here, no lady here. We have lady over there. I think we can put a lady on this one and be fine. Ladies are easy and they're fast. So let's put a lady on this for this one. I knew we needed journal cards, so that's good. Let's get it done. Now, what kind of lady do we want? Maybe we want this lady on there. We had her out earlier. I kind of like the pink in her hat. Let's do her. She's here. She's easy. Let's do it. I'm going to try fussy cutting her quick and get her on here. So we're putting her in some Florentine paper. We will add more Florentine paper behind her and do a little collage. I'm attempting to cut her without the fussy cutting scissors, except for her hat. Her hat's crazy. It's got so much stuff. So let's do this quick. Yeah, the first half of the craft with me today is definitely going to be focusing on the ephemera side of things. And then I want to get to the finishing details because I've really never done that with you guys on camera. Again, there's a intricate little detail here. This lady has a purse and a walking stick. Or actually, it's a parasol. It's a parasol in a purse, of course. See, these are Victorian ladies. And it's an Italian ladies journal, but the Italian ladies in her kit, they're probably from French fashion magazines. I don't know. They look identical to the ones I have. So I don't think every single little thing has to be Italian themed, but Victorian ladies is basically what's in here. And so these ones that I have are from French fashion magazines from the 1800s. And some of these might be American. I don't remember exactly where I scanned them from. Some of these little French ladies might be American, even though they're not French. French ladies might be American. Yeah, that's what I just said. It's early. I didn't have coffee. So let's fussy cut her out. Let's put some Florentine paper back there just to kind of, I'm just going to cut this flower off. It's too fiddly. Let's do a little collage behind her. She just lost an earring. I'm not cutting out that earring. No, I am not. Because once I cut it, it's not going to stay there anyway. Do I cut this bit out behind her, or do I just leave her like that? We'll cut around these little delicate things here, and then we're going to be done. So when I make the little digital, you guys will have a lot less fussy cutting than what I'm doing right now, because I will have edited it all out. Okay. There we go. There's her. Let's find some Florentine paper we like that goes with whatever we have going on here. Honestly, this one, I mean, it's a little busy, but you got to remember we're just using a little piece of it. We have that one, or I have a blue one. The blue one, the blue one's a really big pattern. I'm going to use the little one. I have a million of different patterns. They're just in that bin over there. So this is Florentine paper. This is just my little scraps because I've been working out of this little pile for a while. So these are my scraps of Florentine paper. So you can see we have all different manner of pattern, of style, of whatever. Florentine paper. Maybe we could use that one. We'll see. Or even that one, or that one. See, there's so many different options. These little birds would be cute. Okay, so I think we'll keep that up here on the top now. The green might be too much green with all that green that's going on there, or it might look nice. I don't know. I think I want to use this one. Ow, that was my elbow. I think I'm going to use this one. I just want a little piece. So if you can see where she is on the thing, on the tag, I like all this scripty over here, but I would like to put a little something going down that way. So we're just going to build a little cluster. We're just going to build a little cluster right here. So maybe I want a little bit of textbook page mixed in there. I have a ton of scraps over here. Because I have scripty handwriting already, I don't want more scripty handwriting, but some text would be great. I don't need much text. I don't want that much text either. Just a tiny little piece. And now that I have it, I don't want that. Let's see. Here's some German. Do we want a little German? Maybe we don't want text. Maybe I just want this. Let me do that and glue this down, and then we'll see where we're at. It's a work in progress. So we're just gluing this, and I'll trim off the excess here in a minute. Oops. I knocked over. I have 5 glue bottles sitting over there. Way more than I need. So I'm kind of lining that up with the straight edge. Glue that down. And then our little lady, she needs inked around. And she has a brownish colored dress on. So I'm actually going to go over her dress. My fingers are sticky. I'm going to go over her dress a little bit with a little more heavy of Vintage Photo. And I'm using Vintage Photo right now, but my favorite choice is Antique Linen. I use the Vintage Photo pretty sparingly. I think it's kind of dark for my taste, but for this journal, I went ahead and did it. Let's kind of color her up over here. So we don't have too much sticky glue there. First of all, I'm going to go over her hat just a little bit to kind of darken it. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And color her face a little bit. Basically, I'm looking for flesh tone instead of, kind of washed out look. And then I'm just going over everything else. Oops. Folding her and coloring her dress in. Again, she has a brown dress, so it's kind of nice to color it a little bit. It's kind of like ink blending a little here, there, and everywhere. Okay, I think we're good there. It blends in a little more of the background that was left there too. Actually right there. Okay. So there's that. I like it. I like it a lot. It's really, really cute. She still has pink in her hair. We need to do a little more shading down here. Okay, she's good. Let's glue her. All right. So I'm going to work on the journals until about noon today. I don't know if I'll be live the whole time, but I'll work on the journals until about noon. And then I have to get your invoicing and packing and shipping done. That's the goal for today for me here. I will be working this weekend and not really doing anything for Labor Day. She's kind of floating there. Something at the bottom would have been nice, but she's kind of floating there. Let's cut this extra off. And we may put a label there at the bottom. So when I make ephemera like this, where it's like for a specific pocket, generally it is easier to mass make things. So if you can, and you're making journals, just sit down and make a bunch of journal cards. And, if you have a specific shape of pocket, by all means, you might have to make something individually for the pocket, but it is much faster and more efficient to make everything together at once than it is to make it one by one. Okay. Let me see if we need a little like paper label right there. I think I do want one. So let's do that quick. I like the tone of the brown with it. So let's see what that looks like. This is the German paper label tape stuff. Yes, we can do that right there. that's what's missing. So that's good. Thank you, Wen of Zen. I understand it is a long life. My lives are always long. I don't know. I can't really do short lives. There's always so much to show or talk about, right? I have a live sale on Tuesday. If you haven't came to the live sale on Tuesday evening. And I sell basically all the things that you see here and lots more. So let's get that glued. That looks really cute there. And then I'm just folding over the rest of it to the back. Okay. Cute, cute, cute. We will give that a minute to dry. Not that there's a lot of glue or anything like that, but that one can go there. We could have put a little tab on the side of it to make it easier to get in and out of the pocket. I don't think we need it. I think it's fine. I think that's a perfectly fine journal card right there. So let's make sure that nothing's going to stick. We'll leave it there and it'll go inside. We need to find something to go inside of here. Those will probably just be like printed tags or something that I have left over. Like I have these little journal cards that could go in there. Let's see. Do I have one that has a different color flower on it? The pink is okay. I got glue there now. I don't want glue on it. That's okay there. Let's just ink it and leave it. If I need it or want to make a change later, we can make a change later. Normally, and I probably should start doing this, I just go through and ink everything at the end. And so to speed up today and not take any more of our time for me to ink things, I'm just going to start putting stuff in pockets and not inking it, but just know that I will come back if I feel like it needs a little ink around the edge and lightly ink it. I do think we need to do a little decorating on this glassine bag right here. You could decorate this side, you could decorate this side. I think we just need like a little washi tape or, a little cluster. I do have some washi tape leftover bits. We could use some scripty leftover bit down there. So let's just kind of tearing this leftover washi, and then I just stick it like into the inside of a plastic bin and it just stays there. So we don't really need this little angle piece here. That can be trash. And I think it's a little bit long. We'll kind of take that off. We could save that. We might need it. So I'm going to glue that there. And then I will probably put like a label or something over it. Even though it's washi, I don't trust the washi. It's really not sticky. You can see I've unstuck it and stuck it a million times already. It's not sticky. So glue it. Ooh, we have super soft glue. I'd rather have super soft than dry. So I just want to build a little cluster right here. Sticky fingers. We also have some scraps of Florentine here. Now I just used that one, so I don't want to use that. We've got some little scraps of red book page, red textbook page. We could put that and maybe a label going in there. I'm just going to do it. We're building it on the fly. This is kind of how I work at the end, because I can always just keep adding until I am happy with whatever the final result is. The only thing I'm concerned about here is keeping things straight. So now I have those two layers down. I need one more little layer. I just need a little label. I could choose from any label. It doesn't really matter. You just need that third piece in this little cluster. I like to do clusters in 3s or 5s.
So 3 or 5 little elements glued together. Doesn't have to be. Sometimes I just do a single little piece of washi or book page or something. All of these little tiny scraps, you will see me at the end of this video go in and just start gluing them to things as little embellishments. You can use your little tiny paper scraps like that tiny piece of book page basically as a label anywhere you need a little something. Like that's actually a little big for there. I don't know if I printed them any smaller than this. Let me see quick what else I have for labels. I have a bin with just some general labels. This bin, so this is not my normal craft room, so I just like pile everything in things to bring over here. We just need a little label. I mean, that's not terrible. I don't know that it really goes with our theme, but it's not terrible. Maybe that one. We're gonna do it. We're not gonna spend an hour picking a tiny little label for a tiny cluster. I do ink around these because they're printed on a whiter cardstock. So let's glue that. This is a cardstock one, and it's going on some washi and some book page. So I'm just gonna art glitter it. And it's gonna go rightish here. So, you know, at least there's a little something there. It's not just plain. I would have preferred maybe a little more feminine looking label, but that's fine. I might come back and put a tab right there. I think I probably will. The tab that I want for that one is that brown, this paper. I like it with what's going on back here. So let's cut a little tab, glue that down. I know I'm spending an hour on one little thing. Hello, Kim. Hello. When I mass make, I pretty much finish them. So like, it depends. If I'm mass making master boards, then I just mass make master boards, and then I will cut those up later and put whatever I'm using, like whatever kit design I'm using on them as focal points. But when I'm like mass making, you know, a tag or a journal card for a specific journal, I will just fully decorate them and get them done all in the same time. It doesn't really matter. There's not a right or a wrong way. It's just however you want to do it. You can mass make a bunch of blank bases and then come back and decorate them later just to have on hand. That's a good thing to do too. I don't know if we'll get 2 tabs or 3 or 1 out of this. I cut it to kind of a weird size. I also have some cardstock that has this pattern on it now. So we will have that to use for tabs at some point too. And again, you would ideally let this sit a minute before you punch it. Because it's on cardstock, I am going to be able to, we're shy there. We didn't quite get it. I didn't quite cut my paper big enough. That's okay. We'll get it this way. Can't get it in. There we go. Goodness. So we can also do some mass make videos and just make a variety of things so that I can fill up my ephemera box. When you guys see all of the ephemera that I made for the other journals, those they were made from a quilt cover. When you guys see all of the ephemera I made for those, you will see how I mass made a lot of things. There's 3 of those, so I just made things pretty much in 3s or 5s or whatever. But we can do some mask making videos. I like mask making. That's my style. That's why I make 3 journals at a time, because I just like making things all at once. It's easier, and you already have the mess. You already have the stuff out. So why not just finish it, right? And make a bunch. If you're going to get it all out and that's what your crafty time is, just sit there until it's done. So there's that. And I definitely think the little tab helps. I mean, you didn't have to have it, but I like it. It's cute. We're done. And this one needs a journal card back there. Ideally, like we could do, I don't know if this is going to be big enough. Like it's okay. So for here, we're going to do a flower or something botanical. We could do a bird. Let's go ahead and do that. We can use this for a journal card. What else do I have? Not sold on that one. It needs to be fairly large. We could do a large. This is from the neutral. I think there's more of this somewhere. The neutral masterboard. I think I actually have a whole nother masterboard somewhere too that is prepped for ephemera. That's a better size, I think. So let's use this one and let's decorate it. I don't know. I think I want it this way. Either way is nice. To me, when I make a masterboard, I put the text and the script all different ways. Like this is not the same way as this. They're turned upside down. That way, whenever I make the journal card out of it, I don't care which way the text is going. It's more for visual interest of the paper pieces that I'm concerned with. So this one we need to make a journal card for. I probably have a big tag. And honestly, we might have to put one of these big tags back there. Let me see. They're still very, very tall. I wouldn't be opposed to having that stick out. You guys see how it sticks out right there? I wouldn't be opposed to that necessarily, but it's a lady and a lady, and I would rather not have double ladies there. I don't have anything else large that doesn't have a lady on it. So let's just make this one. I do have this. Let me look at this. This is just journaling space. It also sticks out. It also sticks out, but that may need to go there. And the reason why is because we have embellishment here. We have embellishment here. If I put another piece, we are going to bulk it out. Let me leave this spot for just a minute. I might come in and do that. Maybe I will. But where does this go then? I'm going to leave this there for now. It's just so it matches color-wise with what's going on here, matches here. The coffee dye kind of goldish matches that. We're going to leave it for now. We'll come back and look at that. We do need something here. We don't have a lady in the spread, so we are free to use a lady there. These are very nice coffee dyed journaling cards, basically. Let me put this back wherever blank stuff was. And let's look at this. This is super, super big. This one I know has a specific spot for. We have blank bases. A lot of blank bases. My little lacy cards. I think... So we have that. That's really big. That one kind of looks nice there. Let's do that there. It's got this reddish color off to the side, and her dress is red, and this is kind of reddish. So let's do that. We did a lady here. We could do a lady here. We also have this part of the bag. For this part of the bag, I am going to stick a pre-made tag or some kind of little bit of ephemera in because we're going to have journal card and tag like, made here, like decorated fully here. So whatever is in this bag will be something either antique ephemera that doesn't need decoration or just a printable tag. It's just because there's so much decoration here already between these 2 pages. Let's find something for there. I'm not opposed to doing another lady, but I think I would rather have something with flowers on it. I don't want to use all of my pre-made tags, but she does kind of look nice there. Okay, we're doing that one. That works. But there does need to be something here. For now, I just want a placeholder. So worst case scenario, if I forget to come in here and put something, there is something in this bucket. It's a little hard to get in there when you don't pick up your journal. So we can even decorate, the index card or whatever. It needs a tab, a top tab, but at least there's something in there for now to tell me, hey, you need to make something and you need to put something in there. This right here, I had thought about putting a strip of Florentine paper to kind of decorate that a little bit. Let's just glue that there. The seam between this page and this page is glued right here, and I wanted to cover it up, and I think that's kind of cute. So let's just do it. It's there. We can. So let's do it. Thank you, Rosa. I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good rest of your weekend and happy Labor Day. Thank you for joining, Carolyn. You have a happy and safe weekend as well. Okay. What is this? Cardstock? What is it? Here we go. Okie dokie. Gluing this on. I had been looking at this spot for days. I need to move this a little more in front of my face so I can get it straight. But I've been looking at this spot for days going, I would like to cover that up and decorate that. And so now we have. Trying to get it straight, but good. That makes me happy. I like it, and it's a little decorative element. Okie dokie. Moving on. This page, I believe we are sticking this pocket on, maybe. I'm not positive, but I think that's where that was supposed to go. We'll see. We need something for here. We have this that could go in there, and I like it. It looks nice. So I'm going to put that in there. It could have been put on as a tuck or pocket or whatever, and it has a little journal card in it. We made these last night. It's really cute, and I'm going to make another one for the other journal. I have one more, but we'll make another one. So that goes there. See how fat we're getting? We get in fat. This is all done. This has folded up piece of antique handwritten document in it with a little German scrap. This I'm just leaving because we have a lot of decoration. This needs a journal card back here and something skinny in here. So for that one, let's work on the journal card first. Unless I have a really skinny little. This will work for there. I also have skinny little ledger. We have handwriting right next to it though. And then I know we have lady and lady. I really want to get these tags in there. So I think I'm going to do that. I like the blue line up here with all of this blue, and I love her dress. So we're just going to put double lady right there. That's okay. We can have two ladies. I might want a piece of that German paper tape right here, though. I think I do. It's what's at hand, so let's use that. The only other thing I could have done is a little label. Let me see. Where is that one that I just inked up? Where did we put that one? Right here. It's too big to fit there. Let's just do the little German paper tape. I like the numbers. And I generally do use this like 5 or 6 places in every journal. I like that. Let's do that. It's just the perfect thing. So I have this coming for us too. So it will be here eventually, but it's coming. The German number paper tape is coming. I really didn't need to wrap this around because nobody's going to see the back side of it, but I will wrap it, I guess. So that will come to Tuesday's live sale. Okay, not this Tuesday, but soon. This guy, he is super, super busy, so he's going to need book page and a flower. Let me see if there's a better colored one that is also skinny. I do have these. He's just super busy. Let's do this one with the flower. And there is a line here, so hopefully I can cut a straight line. Relatively. Everything is relative. Just a little tag in there. And this is coming up right there because it's the edge of the ledger page. So let's put a flower on this. I believe there was a tall blue flower in this pack. There is. Let's do it. Or do we want purple? Let me look quick. There is these as well. That might be a better choice color-wise. Or these purples. So these are our choices. That one, it's cute. It's a little too much like this Florentine paper. There's that one, which is also cute. Or that one. I think we're going to do this one. These little stickers came from Amazon a while ago. I do reorder them from time to time, but only the spec. I do like them. I don't use them very often, but I do like them. Oh, goodness. I got glue stick. A chunk of glue stick fell out. Okay. Let's stick this on. Let's ink this up. And let's think about putting something else under this flower. I'm inking this one because the ledger page is a little more white in color. And I just wanted a little color to it. Let's think about grounding this flower by adding something here. We're going to put a label there. Probably that label I just had in my hand a minute ago. This little guy. Just because he's already cut out. If I can pick him up. He's already cut out. So we can do him. Maybe. I think he goes this way. I need something that is longer, more horizontal. Let me find something more horizontal. This is a good one. Let's do this one with these little cherubs. I don't know what those are actually called. I call them cherubs. The little Cupid baby looking things. I thought we had enough ephemera. I thought we did. I have so many pockets, though. I have made way too many pockets and way too much ephemera for these journals. They're going to be so fat. But, you know, more to play with, more to have fun with. I didn't bring any beads in here, but I will be adding beads to, I kind of forgot about that. I will be adding beads to the signature strings. I did kind of think about adding something to the cover. Obviously, I'm adding something, but I needed to figure out what I was going to add. So that will go down there. We'll tuck that, and we might maybe put a page, or maybe we just leave it simple. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll just leave it simple. It's just a simple little tag. Let's just leave it simple. So let's get this done. Okay, so I am going to decorate the cover and put, like, I think a Victorian lady on the cover. And I printed some with the laser printer this morning. And I think I found the girl I want to use. It's just a matter of getting her the right size. And then I'm going to add a whole bunch of lace underneath of her as, you know, layers. And there's a specific really antique tablecloth that I'm cutting up to add underneath of her. Trying to get this glue off. I gotta move it down here. Sorry. So this was a washi sticker, and I just added Oohoo, and we'll glue this label. The glue stick is getting quite the mess. It's just wanting to come apart everywhere. So I'm trying to fix my glue stick at the same time. Okay, we're done with this one. We did it. It's very cute. Get everything straight. And positioned. It's very cute. We got this whole blue purple situation going, and it slides right in there. You could come back and add a tab if you wanted. I'm not going to at the moment. Let's leave that. That would be good. We're almost done. Almost done. Okay, then I will add all the antique ephemera, because that's getting added. We need something for this pocket. So I may take out like tags and add in antique ephemera, where I kind of feel like we have a lot of tags or journal cards or whatever. This is the last pocket, and then I need to make a back pocket. I believe I'm making a back pocket anyway. But this is the last pocket here. It has ladies on it. We will probably end up adding this tag in there. I would really like a really tall flower there. There's just a lot of vines and floral, and we have flower here, so maybe something in the blue flower family right there. I mean, I could do it this way, but I feel it this way. So let's make this one. Or should I just stick this lady on it? Because she's been floating around here, and maybe she just needs to go there. Let me see. I'm going to cut it out quick. But this is our last little pocket for this journal. And then we can go on and add some lace and some of the other things and talk about the cover. Actually, don't want any of this in this dress. So when I do the dresses, I edit them to be what I want them to be. So like if I don't want them to be as wide, if I don't want quite as much of a bustle in the back, I just cut it off. So in the digitals, I'm going to leave them whole for you guys, and you guys can also edit them to fit your spaces or whatever it is that you want. Cutting around their hair. Some of them have birds on their heads, like hats with actual birds. And so those are always fun to cut around. Let me just snip this. I don't want to lose her head. Off with your head? No, we're not making Alice in Wonderland. We can make Alice in Wonderland journals. I have some planned. I don't know if we'll do it as a kit or I'll just do it on my own, but I have so many journals that I need to get done that I have supplies all prepped and ready for, but I'm always making kit journals. And so I can't get to make them. But I think we're just going to start doing more crafting. It relaxes me and it makes me happy. So I think we're going to start doing it. Okay. There's that lady. If I don't end up using the ephemera in the exact place that we just made it, it's okay. We can use it in a different place. Probably right there. I need more ink. Hello, Carmen. Aw, thank you, Carmen. I appreciate that. So I will be giving away one kit every single time, starting with the Halloween one. So in order, I didn't announce this anywhere yet. I'm kind of just telling you based off your comment. I will be giving away at least one kit every time I make a kit. I was waiting to kind of do it in the Facebook group. If you're a member of the Facebook group, I may do it something where, you know, you're a member of the Facebook group and I give away a kit. But anyway, I will be giving away minimum one kit per kit that I make. And I'm making a kit every month now. So if you attend the Tuesday live sales, I'll talk about it more there. But basically, I do want, you know, I realize things are financially, things are tough pretty much for everyone right now. And so I do want to kind of offer something, you know, I know it's a giveaway, so not everybody gets one, but it's something that might help, you know, somebody who can't afford a kit, or, you know, we have to be careful with what we spend, right? And we have to, there's a lot of other expenses and things to consider every month. So let's do it this way. So I will be doing that. So hang tight. We will be offering some free kit or kits at some point in the near future. I'm not sure if I'll talk about it on Tuesday, and we'll set up the giveaway on Tuesday. So if you want more instructions or figure out how exactly to do it, we'll talk about it on Tuesday when I show the kit. And so every month after that, we'll also do the, you know, somebody wins a kit kind of a thing. So let's get her centered on there and make sure she's straight. Let's bring her down a little bit. I think she'll probably have a lacy tab on the top. And I'm going to just leave her just like that. And then I'll sew some lace as a tab up there at the top. I'm not adding anything else to her. She's just like that. Awesome. Awesome, Carmen. Awesome. We'll talk about it and get it all worked out. I'll get it worked out in my head on Tuesday before Tuesday, and we'll do it. So anyway, that one will go there. We're done, except for I need a back pocket right here. The back pocket, I could use the other one of these. I knew there was a place where I wanted this purple lady, and now I cannot find it. Where did we want to put the purple lady? Did I want to put her in there? Maybe I did want to put her in there. Maybe I did. But I knew that there was a specific place where I wanted this purple lady, and it may be right here. We might save that one. I don't remember where she was supposed to go, but there was a place. So this is full. I will still add a ton of vintage ephemera and things like that. I don't know where else I would have stuck that lady. I think she must have been meaning to go there, but I was saving her this entire time because I knew yesterday when I was playing around, I found a place I liked. So this is the journal so far. It's very, very fat. It didn't get squished last night. I will squish it after I add everything just by placing, a little heavy book on there or something. But there is a lot in there already. So before I add anything else, so this journal has 20 turnable pages, which is 80 sides of journaling. Normally, I would only put 60, but all of these journals have extra pages in them. And so, yeah, they're super, super fat. But it's pretty much done. Oh, gosh, we need to add those lacy pockets. I almost forgot. Let's glue that. Where's my lacy pocket going? I just saw the tag for it. Right here. So let's find one and glue the one in here. It doesn't really matter which one. I mean, originally they were designed for specific. I think she was the first one I made. So she would have gone in this pocket. So let's glue this pocket down here. This is also going to add some bulk. And the other lacy pocket adds bulk. And all the little lacy clusters add bulk. So these are fat journals. Let's glue this down. And so you could glue this where you could slide a journal card or something in. I'm going to glue it. I will leave a place for a journal card, but I will not put a journal card in unless it's just a coffee dyed index card because there is so much ephemera in here already. But I don't want to glue it completely flat and not leave the new owner an option for putting something in. I do try to leave them options. So she'll go there. Honestly, now that I've said that, she's kind of tall. I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to stress after I stress. A mini lesson. Okay. It's, you see me, you have to just look. Every time you have to look. There is normally a side on lace that is more finished and smooth feeling. And then there is usually a side that is more rough. So I'm going to glue this flat and it really almost pains me to do it. But you just have to look. There's not really a lesson or a trick. Just know that there is a rough side that looks a little more messy on most laces. And then there is a side that is a little more smooth and finished. The smooth and finished side is the side we're looking for. So this is a terrible angle to do this. I'm going to move it right in front of my face for a minute. It's Fabri-Tac, so I do want to get it in the right position. I kind of got to lift up my lace to do that. Did we get it straight? Most importantly, did we get it straight? Not really. It's straight-ish, but it is what it is because it's not Fabri-Tac art glitter. It is what it is. It's there. Once you stick it, you've got to commit to it. So I'm just pressing it down. It's going to hold really, really well, but just giving it a good press. And then this is the tag we made for this. So now that's done. And that's in there. Okay. I think we're good. I don't feel any wet glue. I always try to go over it one time before I flip pages on top of it. So where did I say that other one was going? Because we need to glue that one in too. Goodness. So fat. So very fat. Maybe she was supposed to go in this. Wait a minute. Maybe she was supposed to go in this. Let me see. I knew I had a place for her somewhere. Maybe she was supposed to go in this. She fits nicely in there. I don't think that's where she was supposed to go, no. I do like the purple with the iris. I don't know. She could go either place. She could. We'll leave her there. I can see her better there. So I'm going to leave her there. So we still need a journal card here, which is why this is here. We still need a couple pieces of ephemera. I'll make them. You guys kind of get an idea of how I'm making the things I'm putting in here anyway. So it'll just be kind of more of the same for the big journal card that goes in there. But look at how fat, and we still have one fabric pocket to put in. Goodness. So if we put a fabric pocket in the front, I'm guessing the other fabric pocket is supposed to go back here somewhere. I think it was supposed to go right here. I think so. So we're going to glue this one in right here. I don't know what decorating I'm doing on it yet, but I can do it in the book. So let's just glue it in. I have book page though. Was it supposed to go here? Let me play. I do like to flip through my journal after I make it. Let me see. Where else would we have stuck it though? I don't think there is another place. I thought we were going to stick something there. Maybe it was supposed to go here. Yes, it's supposed to go there. I do remember talking about that yesterday. Let's glue this one in. So this one, I'm going to hole punch and I will glue it in as an extra pocket just because the new owner of this journal may want that as a pocket. So let's take a thumb hole out of that. I'm trying to line this up. We may or may not get it perfect, but we're close. So let's glue this one on 3 sides and leave it as a pocket. And I'm putting my glue over my stitching for the most part. And then down here at the bottom, I go wide. This helps your tags not fall in your pocket. And it also helps your pocket really stick to the page. So I really went wide right there. This is a full length pocket. So by putting your glue up wide, it keeps whatever you stick in sticking out the top, which is my goal. Okay, let's glue this one on roughly center. I do want that lace hanging out, so let's put it all the way to the bottom. And over. Try not to scoot it once you put your glue down. Okay, there's that one. Again, I just press it overly, and I'm really feeling to see if any glue is seeping out so that my pages don't stick together. But there's that, and we don't have anything for it at the moment. I do have this giant thing, and it kind of matches color-wise. So that may go in there. I do want to do some antique lace embellishing on this pocket. But it's just getting like if you could see the side view. I mean, it can be squished. So it's not too full. It's actually about perfect right now, but it's definitely getting there. After I set, I'll let everything thoroughly dry before I put a book on it. But after I set a book on it, it does kind of help it keep flat. Tying it closed overnight will also help, but I do prefer to put a book on it just to kind of keep everything flat. In my mind, I was going to add a top tuck, 1 or 2 in here because we have them made, A, and B, I like to kind of even it out. The bottom is a lot thicker than the top is. So I may add a top tuck, like, a top tuck with one of these corner pockets. maybe not the specific one in this specific place, but just like we talked about yesterday, a top tuck up there, and tuck some antique ephemera, folded documents, etc. in. So that and finishing whatever else ephemera wise needs to be done. But let's glue some lace to the page edges now that we have all of our pockets in. You can't really, like, if you know which pages you want your lace on, you can go ahead and do it. I like to put the pockets in that way, because when you're gluing lace to the edge of a page, you don't necessarily want to glue it over top of a pocket. You can, but I prefer to kind of avoid it if possible. I prefer to add the lace to a plain page, something like this, where it kind of decorates the page, because we'll be able to see the lace on this side, or you could add it to, you know, some other undecorated page. These pages with pockets already have decorations, so I don't add my lace on those pages if I can avoid it. What I'm looking for adding for lace is from the center of my signature, which I really just need to put a bookmark in here so I can find it every time. But from the center of my signature, so in the first half and the second half, I want 3 pages with 3 different laces, preferably in the front. And I want 3 pages with 3 different laces, preferably in the back. That's just my standard guideline. From there, I can deviate based on the look or how, you know, fluffy it is or whatever. But the lace is glued to the very end of the page. So while it adds a little bit of bulk, it doesn't really add that much because the lace hangs out the edge of the journal. It's not really inside the journal. So let's go ahead and find the 3 pages. And I did pre-pull the lace. Good morning, Kendall. It really is a fancy frilly journal, and it's about to be more so when I add the lace on. The people that pre-bought them are hopefully happy with. So let's find the pages and glue the lace on. So I probably would add lace right here to this one. It does have a pocket on the back. I'm not concerned necessarily with the back, but it's an option because when you open the book up, of course, it will look pretty having lace right there. So that's an option. Other than that, I could go here. Ideally, I would use this page in the front to add lace and the same page in the back to add lace. So we might go there. And then I need another page that doesn't have something on it. Pretty much all these pages have something on them. We could go maybe this plain coffee dyed one. I could do the document or the coffee dyed one. So here. I could do the ledger. I could do this plain coffee dyed. So if I went there, there, and there, where does that leave me for my center? I won't put glue there because there's a pocket. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do these 3 sections. So this coffee dyed page here, this coffee dyed page here, or the document, and this kind of printed coffee dyed page here. So let's get some lace. They're evenly spaced. So see how there's pages here in the front. Then there's a section of pages between these 2 that we're adding lace on. And then there's a section of pages between this lace page here and another section before the middle. So they're all evenly spaced. I really wish I had some paper clips right now, but you know, I'll have to find those pages again in a minute. I am going to be adding some of this. I pulled this one anyway. We'll see how it looks. But some Battenberg kind of lace to go on the edge. And let me grab the other 2. Let me grab them. So there's these. Is it 10:30 yet? No, it is not. At 10:30, I need to take some pills. So I pulled this one, which is the Battenberg one. I pulled this one, which is kind of, it's very antique looking. So now we can talk about right side and back side of lace. And I pulled this one because it's one of my favorites. So those are the three I pulled. Let's cut them and glue. Uh-oh, I left art glitter open. Never a good idea. Ooh. No, it is not a good idea. Well, now we must get this unstuck. I kind of stick it in and pull it back out and then try to wipe off whatever sticky bits come out with it. And you might have to do that a couple of times, and you can tell that it's got a little clog in it because there's glue coming out. So I pull it until it's clear and I clean that off. This is after I've left it open too long and it got a little clog in it. I can't see the hole. You guys see me struggling? Probably not because I was off camera, but we're good now. We fixed it. So let's cut this. And I don't know if I need to ink it yet or not, but let's cut this roughly. And then if I have to recut, it's fine. I can always use snippets. So there's one for there. That's great. I like it. Let's go ahead and glue it. But because we're working in a journal, we need to have some plastics to put for when I close that page so it doesn't stick to this page. I always save these plastic packagings and try to reuse them for something before I throw them away. When they get too gluey, they get thrown away. So I know we need to have another lace night where I saw you guys lace, but when do we fit it in? When do we fit it in? Let me try to glue on the page and then stick this. So I was going to try to show you. I don't know how well I can, but this one, this is the finished side. And then this is the back side. The back side is more messy. The stitches are more messy and it is not as shiny as the front side. It might all look messy to you. But look specifically right here at this circle. See how all of the circle stitches are kind of finished and even, or if we look at the back of it, see how that circle is more messy. You just have to kind of flip them over and look at them. Not really the best way of showing it probably, but so our lace is definitely wide enough. We're going to use Fabri-Tac. I am to the end of this bottle of Fabri-Tac. So it's going to be difficult for us today, but I do have a new one sitting next to me. So if it gets too hard, we will just quit fighting with it. But I'll try to do it this way, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how we go. So I want my lace to stick, but I don't want it. This journal is so fat. You do have to hold your pages. And I do have the, where is that? There it is. My book weight. It kind of keeps your pages from accidentally flipping. This journal is so fat, it still kind of flips them. But it kind of keeps your pages from accidentally flipping closed while you're working in it, especially with glue. So I'm kind of spreading this glue out. I'm not leaving it all balled up. That's probably enough glue. Try to catch my glue strings. And so it's going to hold it for me, hopefully. And I'm going to attempt to stick this down. It needs to be stuck to the page evenly. And we need to make sure we're not sticking down the page underneath either. So if you have a spatula, which I do in the other room, and I should have brought it in because normally that's what I use when I stick down page lace edge on, oh my gosh, lace on the edge of the page. I normally use a silicone spatula. So I need to look at it this way to kind of see where we're at. So with most lace, you can kind of line it up where we're getting off. So I can see these up here at the top need to come in a little bit. And we'll straighten her up. And then let's look. That's much, much better. We can see the middle still needs to come in a little bit. I know I am too much of a perfectionist. I get it, but I also think that's kind of what people like about the journal. Okay, so you can see if you look at the holes, they're all about even. This middle one, you know, it is where it is. I try to clean up any extra glue by rubbing it before it gets, you know, too set. And then we're good. We can leave our plastic packaging and move on. So you can see our journal is going to have lace hanging out and dripping out of the edge. So now I'm looking for a lace that kind of fills in the gaps between these Battenberg things. So if we go to this page, let's do it on the copy die because this one is already shorter anyway, so you'll kind of see it better. My glue is just pouring everywhere right now. Let's do it here. And let's do the cream color. It's the cream one. I'm going to cut it because we're going to use it anyway. But it's the cream one. Or it's this one. So you can see how old these spools are. This is vintage lace that came from that lace factory. Not lace factory, dress factory. Dress, I don't know. They made wedding dresses and other formal attire. So we can do this one. I kind of like that one. Because this one is almost the same color as the page. So we're going to do this one here. I'm going to do another coffee dyed page, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, I've gone with this one now. So on this one, before I put glue on this page, if you look at right here, it's nicely finished there for the most part. And if you look at the back, I'll try to hold it up again. This one is a little harder to tell because of the type of lace it is. You just got to go with whatever side looks more finished to you. And ultimately, if you cannot figure out which side is the right side, no one else is going to know you glued it on wrong if you glued it on. So don't overstress about it. Hello, Lula. Hello. Yeah, if you can't tell, don't worry about it. Because if you can't tell, no one else is going to tell either. As far as, you know, lace being on the wrong side or whatever. So let's add some main camera. Yes, let's add some glue here. Ooh, not on the page underneath. No, thank you to that. Get that over. And this is a longer lace, and I have room on this page, so I can pull it in on the page a little bit. And I'm going to try to smooth this out so it's not just a line, you know, of glue. Most importantly are the top and bottom. Generally people, I just set that in my glue where it spilled. Gross. Okay. Most importantly are the top and bottom. People tend to turn the pages from the top and bottom. See, now I have to look at it and try to figure it out. And with the pointed lace, I do try to line up the points. And this one in particular, you do have to kind of hold it for a minute because it's so open. And this is a great one for the spatula because it really just is a bunch of open holes. And it's hard to get the lace to kind of stick. There isn't a lot of lace there to stick. So I am just getting super, super gluey and doing it with my fingers. But it would have been a great one for the spatula. You have glue everywhere now. Okay. For this one, we also need plastic bag. What did I do with the plastic bags? I can't see them. They're clear. I don't know where I put them. We need another one. Oh, right here. It was clear. I couldn't see it. So let's do that because this one definitely will stick. Before I do that, I'm kind of stuck to this page a little bit. No, I'm okay. Let's see how we look as far as even goes. We're a little off. Not much. I got a little glue going on there. So I try to rub it. The good thing about Fabri-Tac is it does kind of ball up and peel off if you get it before it's like super, super hard. So you can kind of remove the excess. Okay, let's leave that. If you notice, I'm not trimming them until I'm finally done with them. And because I'm not putting plastic here, I just want to kind of feel it and make sure that there isn't glue that's going to stick to this page. Okay, next. Was it this one? I think it was this one. Yes. Okay. Let's see how we look. It's pretty far out there. Honestly, I'm going to pull this one in. I said I had room and then I left it over there pretty far. So I'm going to move this one in. I'll re-glue if I need, but I'm just pulling it with my finger at this point. See, it wasn't even really glued there. It's just sticking out a little too far. It would have been better to measure it before I did it. Sometimes this is what you got to do. Okay, let's go wider this time. Much, much wider. I don't want to take away all the writing space, but I do want this to not stick out 5 inches. I'm trying to smear my glue as I go. Okay, much better, much happier. Okay. I don't have a book weight on there, so please do not flip closed on me. Honestly, on this one, I can't even tell which side I had glue on. I think it was that one. Okay, second time's the charm. Line up my points. That's pretty good. Okay. Sticky fingers again. Sorry about that, guys. Don't watch me do it twice. There we go. Okay. Now this time, I'm going to press it from this side onto that plastic bag so that my fingers don't get quite as gluey. Perfect. Much better. Now it sticks out a normal length. See, my Battenberg and my other points are now sticking out about the same length. Much better. Happier we pulled that off. I'm just going to leave it stuck to this. It's fine. I don't want it stuck to that, however. Moving on. Next one right here. This one is an easy one. It's a shorter lace. And so we go right at the edge. This one is, I mean, honestly, nearly impossible to tell which side is the right side. It pretty much looks the same from both. I think this is the front though. But you just kind of got to go with it. So let's do this one quick. I have a big goober of glue right here. Hello, Jennifer. It is a book weight. It's from Amazon. It is handy. It's like a third hand, I guess. It helps you hold down your pages. I think people just use it for reading. It's just a leather thing and it has weights at both ends. What is it called? It says Superior Essentials. I don't know. I got it from Amazon. I've had it for years. I don't know if they still have them. But let's line this up down here at the bottom. Need another plastic bag. I'm going to need 6 total. Luckily, I saved them all, so we have them. And I'm going to do the same thing to avoid sticky fingers as much as I can. Let's straighten that out a little bit. I know I should start putting links in for you guys for Amazon stuff and for all that kind of thing. Eventually, I'll get on the ball and do it. And I do need to make my Amazon favorites list. I do plan on working on it. I have a million things I plan on doing. So with this one, I'm just looking at the back and making sure that the circles are roughly in the same place, and they look like they pretty much are. So I don't know how much, you won't really see the third lace in there. But we've got it here, here, and here. On this one specifically, I will do a little embellishing somewhere on this because you guys know I don't like the straight line. So I will add a little lacy cluster or something, probably center my stuff up here at the top to, again, even out the thickness between the bottom part of the book and the top part of the book. So probably a little antique lacy cluster right there. I might do that on all of them just as final touches. It looks like I probably will. So let's glue the other 3 and then we'll start pulling plastic out. We might be able to pull this plastic out now. We'll see. I'll leave it for now. So on this one, on the second half of the book, I'm going to look for the same pages. So we had the one that was printed. We have that one. We have this one. And we have the printed one, which is back here. Let's start in the back. Where's the printed one? Let's start in the back and work our way forward. Right here's the printed one. So this is the one that gets lace. I generally glue my lace to the front side and not the back side. You can do it however you want to do it. It doesn't really matter. And so I'm going to glue the same lace in the same order that I glued it the first time. So the first one was the Battenberg on the printed one. So we're doing Battenberg on the printed one. Again, if you're worried about gluing your pages underneath, put plastic under here too. This glue is just about done. And I don't know why my dog always likes to bark during my lives. I think she gets a kick out of it now. She doesn't need anything. She's lonely. I've spent too much time in here and not enough out there with her. And she's not allowed in here because, there's people that are allergic to pets or dogs or whatever. And so I don't let her come in my rooms, my craft room or this room. She'd come in my craft room while I'm in there, but she doesn't really do it. She comes in there for a minute and she leaves. She's like, no, I don't want to. There's too much stuff in here. It's overwhelming for me. I need to leave. And I'm like, I know the feeling. There's so much stuff in my craft room. I know I have the craft room tour video out there, but my craft room has changed significantly since that video was made, and it is much, much fuller. I am trying to clear out some of the general crafting things though, because I'm basically focused on making journals. And also in the beginning, I wasn't, like everyone, I had to work through a bunch of different themes and styles of journals before I found the one that I call, my style of journal. And so I'm trying to kind of go through and get rid of things that I'm not going to use. It's a slow process because obviously I have, zero free time, but eventually I'll get that craft room cleaned up to where it resembles the clean and organized one from the video. I mean, it's still organized, but maybe not as much as it is in that video. And there are a lot more craft carts full of things because for me, it was easier to get craft carts and use them as storage. My fingers are so gluey at this point, it doesn't really matter. So there's lots of craft carts in there, and they're kind of in the way. They need to be fixed, moved. So that's pretty good there. We didn't glue anything over there. We're good. We need a plastic bag, and we're moving on. That one's a little, for whatever reason, wobbly. I'm just going to leave it. I think it looks a little more antique. So we're to this page. Yep, this page. And this one gets the brown lace. So let's do that. Time to take my meds at 10:30. I have 1 more hour. My time, Wendy. It's more than 2 years ago that I filmed that. It was in 2019, I believe. I'm not sure. Maybe it was 2020. I don't know. Maybe it was 2021, honestly. I know it's been a really long time. That was, I don't know, one of the first video, maybe the first video I put up on YouTube. I think it was the first video I put up on YouTube. I was so nervous. Because, I get nervous about like craft room tour videos. I don't know if you've noticed this, but in the comments on craft room tour videos, people are ridiculous. People literally say bad things about you if you have too much stuff. And I don't know, what exactly it comes from, but it feels an awful lot like jealousy. And I did get some comments, and back then, this needs moved in. I forgot. Back then, I was just, like, this is my first video. So anyone who said anything rude, I was just like, oh, sorry, and hearted their comment and moved on. I'm not like that anymore. But that's because they've hardened me. Like the cynics have hardened me. But some people leave comments about, just you have a ridiculous amount of stuff, like you're so selfish, or I don't know, whatever they say. And so I was really nervous about it because I had seen those comments from other craft room tour videos. Because obviously before I made a craft room tour video, I watched other people's craft room tour videos. And I was afraid to share. But I like watching craft room tour videos so much. Now everything is sticking because I have spiderweb fingers. I like watching them so much because in the beginning, you're trying to set up your craft room, and I'm getting just absolutely gluey. You're trying to set up your craft room, and you need to see other people's craft rooms, or at least I did, to get storage ideas because there's a ridiculous amount of stuff that needs to go in those rooms. And so I was watching other people's craft room tour videos and I would see those comments and I was just like, what? Who cares how much stuff somebody else has? Who cares how they, organize their crap? Like, people are just so mean sometimes. And I just say crap. Anyway, so I post this video and I only got a couple of rude comments about it in all the time it's been up there. And it's not like a super, super watched video. It has like 17,000 watches or something. It's not like there's, 100,000 or whatever. So I only got a couple rude ones. And the rude ones are more or less centered around you just, you have so much stuff. Like, some people were telling me you need to purge. And it's like, well, I don't think you need to tell me that. I think that's up to me. Like, it's organized. It's not like a hoarder's room. Like, you might think it's a hoarder's room, but it actually is organized. Anyway, so that was the experience with, make sure I put this back on the right side, the filming of the craft room. It was a little nerve-wracking. And so I was super nervous during that video. It was my very first YouTube video. And I was so nervous. And I was just like, please be nice to me. Don't yell at me. Now I'm like, you can go ahead and yell. You'll just get banned. It's okay. Speaking of that, we have some banned people. One of them, I'm absolutely not talking about you. I'm talking about a different person. Not that you'll know what I'm talking about. But I recently, you guys remember, there was a lady that came in to chat. She's not one of our regulars. She's not part of our group. And she was making some comments that were not nice. And you guys were all here and you guys were like, what the heck? She came in, she popped in, her only comment, her only time we've ever seen her was really being rude. And so I did end up banning her live because, I'm trying to do a show and you're coming here and you're not saying anything helpful or nice or kind. And so she did get banned. And now she keeps messaging me and saying, I want to shop. Please unban me. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to be like this either, but do you know, like, it takes a lot for me to ban people. Like, I don't just like, oh, you said something I don't like. No, like, she was really rude. And so you guys were kind of yelling at her. And so I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. Once we get to the ban stage, we can't unban. So that person is probably watching. If you're watching, I did respond to your messages requesting me to unban you so that you can shop. And while I appreciate that you would like to shop here, when someone is rude, it's probably just not the right place for them. Like, right? Whatever it was that I was doing that angered you enough to be rude to me in the first place, this probably just isn't the right place. Like, I'm not the right person for you. So, that's kind of how I feel about it. And I'm sorry that you feel differently. That kind of a thing. So, all kinds of weird things happen when you have a YouTube channel. And by no means do I have a large YouTube channel. And can you imagine the people that have like really, really large YouTube channels? Can you imagine the things that happen to them and that they have to deal with and like the stress of it all? Like, goodness. I just have a small YouTube channel. Can you imagine people that have large ones? They have to deal with so much stuff. You do remember Christy? Yeah. Oh, I know. And it might just be where like I try so hard to find some excuse or positive or whatever. But what she was saying was not positive or whatever. And so it is what it is. I'm just probably not the right person because here's what I think would happen is I would unban her. But eventually I would do something else that upset her and then she would, not be kind again. So anyway, we're just going to leave it at banned. I'm sorry. But when you have YouTube's channel, I guess this kind of thing happens. I'm just a tiny baby YouTube channel. So anyway, we added a whole bunch of gorgeous lace in there. I love it. I think it looks wonderful. Now, because I'm doing, I did bring it in. I'm doing a sari silk closure. And I actually this morning at 4:30 in the morning took my antique key, my skeleton key that came with these kits in the garage. Those are some of them are rusty, some of them weren't. They're all antique, but the one that I had with this kit was really rusty. And even with the rusty safety pins, some of the rust, the antique skeleton keys are naturally rusty. All of this is like faux rusty or, deliberately rusted. But the rust kind of is a powder and it comes off and it gets on things. Plus, I don't like feeling it, the rusty powder stuff on my hands. And I wanted to use my skeleton key. I'm going to go get it and we're going to do it. But I wanted to use my skeleton key on my closure, which is a sari silk tie. So I took it out in the garage this morning and I sprayed it with triple thick. And that seals in the layer of rust. And it makes it so it won't rub off on anything. The rusty powder stuff won't rub off anything and it won't get on your hand. So while this is sitting here drying for a minute, I'm going to go in the garage and I'm going to grab that key and we'll get my sari silk and we'll work on the closure. I'm just checking that I'm not glued to any extra pages before I let this go too long. Yeah, let me go grab that key. Let me go grab the key and I'll grab the can of triple thick too so I can show you guys that, the one that I used. This bottom lace is actually still sticking out a little too far. Why is that one sticking out? I thought I got them at the same. I'm going to have to move this one in. It's still sticking out too far. Luckily I can. I believe. I have to redo both of these. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to go grab that key. I'll make this quick. It's like super glue right now. If you really wanted it to stick, it wouldn't stick this well. But because I need it to come off, of course, it's stuck perfectly. Anyway, I'm going to go grab the key and the sari silk, and we're going to do the closure. And then I will show you guys, or we will work on, I'm not sure which, the actual, ooh, don't go over too far, the actual center decorative thing for my cover. Now I've really got a mess of glue going. Oop. And I probably just glued all of my pages. Okay. Let's get this glue back down. And I need my book weight. Book weights go under things with sticky stuff. I'm sorry, I had to do it twice on both. I should have been paying more attention, but I was yakking. Not yakking, yapping. Why do I say that? Not yakking. No, that's something different entirely. Let's get this straight. Sorry if you can see the top of my head. I'm trying to look at it as I'm doing it. Maybe I'm not over far enough again. Now I'm afraid. So when you ban people on YouTube, all it does, like they can continue to watch your videos. All it does, it makes them not be able to comment, and or they can comment, but no one can see it. We can't see it. You can't see it. I can't see it. Whatever. So when somebody's banned, they can still watch your content. They can still see what you're doing. You just can't see whatever comments they're typing in or whatever. So it's kind of weird that YouTube works that way. I wish if you banned people, it just banned them entirely, like made your content not available to them. Now my laces are sticking out more evenly, like this one down here at the bottom is about lined up with this one up here at the top. That's what I needed. Now I just need it to be straight and not all wonky and crooked like it is. So let me go grab that key and quit fussing with this. I will probably add some other embellishment down the side right here, all the way down, just because this lace is so open. I might make a little sari ruffle. I think I will make a little sari ruffle and put it down there. But anyway, which side is the sticky side? This is the sticky side? Okay. Let's close that up a minute. Let me go grab the key. Joanne. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Joanne, you are so cracking me up right now with your comment. So cracking me up. Let me go grab it quick. I'll be right back and I'll grab the can to show you. Okay. So here's how my key came out. Pardon my gluey fingers. You guys know how it is. So here's my key. It is rusty. Let me hold it where you can see. It's rusty. And it's been sprayed very lightly. I don't know how to show you this. It's been sprayed very lightly. I can't get the rust to show. But it is rusty. And it's not glossy, but it's metal. So obviously there's a little sheen here or there. But this is the triple thick. It's not even called triple thick. I believe it is called triple thick, but anyway, this is the one I used this morning. Krylon matte finish. It's a permanent protective matte finish. Eliminates glossy sheen. It's non-yellowing. It's moisture resistant coating, and it dries in minutes, it says. I do have triple thick. It's the other can in the garage. I just didn't grab it. Let me show you that one too. Let me grab that other can because you might not have that one available where you live. Okay, well, neither one of these cans actually say triple thick, but it used to be called triple thick. This is the Rust-Oleum one. It's a matte finish, clear protective finish. Eliminates glossy sheen. It's non-yellowing, fast drying. It's basically the same as this. So either one of these work. This morning, I just grabbed this one. There is one that is called triple thick. It might not be matte. It might not be available in matte. The triple thick might be satin finished. But this is the one, or this one, they're basically identical, that I used this morning. But this is the actual one I used this morning. Too shy. So funny. So funny. So I got to remember to take these out of this room and put them back in the garage. I keep all of my paints out in the garage, except for like acrylic paint. So anyway, let's do this. Let me get rid of this situation that's going on constantly. This bottle is nearly done. Has anyone ever stored? I've been afraid to do it the whole entire time. Has anyone ever stored Fabri-Tac upside down? Do you guys have the glue holders maybe where you put it? Does it pool into the lid? That's what I was afraid of. That's why I never did it. But this bottle's almost empty. So maybe I could try it with this one and see. But I want to take... So funny. So funny, Joanne. So funny. Oh my goodness, I cannot stand this glue on my fingers right now. So much when you do lace on your page edges without a spatula. Trust me, get the silicone spatula. Okay, we're going to give those another minute, but I'll show you the idea for how I'm closing my journal. It's not really an idea. It's a basic sari wrap, but I'll show it. Okay. So as organized as I am, this is my sari right now. It's really a mess, and I have just been finding an end or cutting in the middle. It doesn't really matter. But I'm using a very neutral color. It basically looks tea-dyed or maybe a little coffee-dyed if you rinsed it out well. Closure. So for the closure, I'm going to double it up. Ooh, see, there was a short piece. We don't need a short piece. We don't need a short piece. We need a long piece. There's many different saris. This one, I'm going to double and make the closure out of the doubled. So I need about, I don't know, maybe 2 yards. We'll see. It's really hard. The sari silk strings all get tangled, and it is really hard to get them untangled. So sometimes you just have to start cutting. Anyway, so I'm looking for a really long piece. When you get your sari, if you unravel it the right way, this will not be your mess. Looking for a really long piece. I found one. We're good. And I'm looking for about 2 yards, I think, because I want to double it. That seems about right. I'll leave it a little long. I can always use snipped off pieces. And again, you should organize it. You should wrap it around a cardboard thing like you do your lace. I just have not with this one yet. All of my ephemera over here. So here's my thing with the closure. I'm going to double it for strength because sari, if you didn't know, is just strips of silk that are sewn together. And when I say sewn together, I'm using that term in the lightest sense. This is a perfect example. It's very, very lightly tacked together. And if you pull on this, chances are it's going to tear. So all sari silk closures, if you get this sari from India, like everyone does, they're pretty lightly tacked together and sewn. So you just need to be aware that you cannot pull and put a lot of tension on this. Like this one just came apart right there. So now instantly my piece is shorter unless I want to take this to the sewing machine, which at this point I'm going to, and tack it back down myself. You could reinforce it with a little glue, maybe. But I will probably just go ahead and re-sew this. It was sewn, and I mean, you saw me, I didn't even pull it. But anyway, for demonstration purposes, I have doubled up my sari. I'm going to take, this is the closure, so obviously I need to put my decorative stuff on first. But I've just got kind of a loop on one side. It doesn't really matter really how you start it, but just start wrapping it. You could leave a little bit longer here. It's hard now because I have two pieces instead of one long one. But let's just do it with this one. So you leave a long piece on one side, you wrap, and then on one of these ends, I'm not going to do it because I got to fix my sari now, but I'm just going to tie this key. So I'm just going to faux do it for you. Tie this key on, and this is what I'm going to tuck in here to pull in this piece that's going to keep that tight. So that little key is just going to hang there. So after I wrap around my sari, the little key will kind of be the closure part that keeps the sari taut and keeps the journal closed. So it'll work basically like that. And then we'll put something pretty here. For putting something pretty there, I did print out with the laser printer. Put that away for now. I printed out some little ladies. that I was thinking of putting on the cover. The problem is finding that at the moment. We need that for the other journal right here. So these ladies are the ones I was looking at. She's too big. I did eventually print her smaller. I don't know where I put her, but right here maybe. So I was thinking about cutting her down, and truthfully, I did cut one down already. I don't know where it is. But cutting the picture of this lady down so that I can use her on the front of the journals. I might pick a different lady depending on which journal I'm doing, but I liked how she had this reddish color. I don't know how well you can see it. Reddish color in her dress. So I'm going to crop her out basically when I cut it. And then I'm going to glue her to something sturdy, maybe watercolor cardstock, just to strengthen her up. I'm going to sew around her, and then I'm going to put a whole bunch of antique lace on the front in a layer, and she'll be the focal point that's on top of that lace. So if you imagine her cropped down, glued to some watercolor cardstock, then sewn around, then that piece glued to a big bunch of antique lacy cluster. Like this is the antique tablecloth that I'm cutting up. It's a beautiful, really old antique tablecloth. I've got another one here. So I'm just layering a bunch of lace. These are dry now. And this one. This is another one. It's pieces of one. So this kind, I think, is my first choice for this cover anyway. And then putting that focal point on there. So obviously, you know, it'll be a small piece of it. It'll be bunched up a little bit. It'll have different kinds of lace in there, and she'll be on the front. I am going to put lace down the spine to cover up the signature strings. I don't know which lace yet because I need to fix or plan or make the centerpiece. And then whatever lace I think looks good with that there, I'll put down the spine. So pretty much I'm in the home stretch. I never get as much done during these videos as I think I'm going to get done. Having the key sealed, it feels really, really nice, and it doesn't make your hands dirty. I wish you guys could see the actual rust that's on it, but it's still rusty. It's just not going to rub off on your hand and be disgusting. And if you guys don't like that paper clips and safety pins and all of the other rusted stuff does that, just give it like a quick spray of that stuff that I showed you. And then it makes them be perfect too, where they don't have that crusty feel to them, and they don't make your hands like super orange from the rust rubbing off. Plus, I'm not sure how safe it is that rust actually like gets on our skin and stuff. So I do prefer to seal it, honestly. So anyway, that's kind of the plan. When I do them, I don't know if I will turn the camera on or I will just show you guys. I'm not really sure, but that's the plan. I don't want to lose my key, but I'm very close to being done with these. I have a couple more things to make for the green one, and then the green one will be done. I'd like to show you guys without the plastic sticking in. Just a couple more things to make for them. And then, of course, you know, I have two other ones to do. Now, I am really, really far along on the other two as well. So I will trim off this lace now. Making sure nothing's stuck. That one did get a little glue. So let's trim off these. I'll stick in the rest of the things that I left out of the pockets while they were drying. And then we will see where we're at if we want to do something different or what. But I would like to do the covers. I just am not positive. I think I want that lady on this one. So we could work on building that if you guys wanted. I don't want to cut my page. Lace is flexible when you cut it. So it is what it is. It moves a little bit. Okay, so there's two tiny little things. We probably will not keep those. Truthfully, I just really need to go wash my hands. It's so disgusting feeling to have this amount of glue. And so finishing touches, that one, I probably will film for you guys or show you or something, because there's a lot of finishing touches that still need done. By that, I mean all that little final detail. And I really want to show you guys that because I never ever get to show it when I make these journals. It's always the things that I end up doing off camera. So maybe we'll work on that so you guys can see what I mean with finishing touches. So I'm trying to leave the points of the lace there as much as I can. Like this one I have to cut, but the rest I kind of left there. Now you could cut your lace more accurately, but I prefer to do it like this and then just snip off what's left. Big enough pieces I can use. Little ones I don't care about. You could do different closure. You could do like hitch post. You could make some other closure method. Hitch post is fine. I just felt the sari with the key was a good option. I wanted to use the key. This guy, he just has a little fuzzy right there. And we already have strings everywhere from something from this pocket. Okay. So now we look like that. It's cute. There's strings from the sari. I mean, the sari was on there for 10 seconds. So there's just strings everywhere. Now I do need to work on lace at the bottom of the pocket. So that's what I would do next. We only have really this one bit of lace hanging out, but we have lots of pockets that could use lace at the bottom. So I'm going to work on that. That's just naturally where I would go after I put lace here. So we could put lace here if we wanted. We could put lace here if we wanted, although we have lace there. You could put a little lace there. You could just go through and put lace wherever you want. But I want the same dripping out of the bottom effect. I will probably use some different laces just to kind of mix it up a little bit. But I'll probably find 2 to 3 places in each side of the signature to add lace at the bottom of the pocket. Like this is a good one. It would really benefit from some lace. So we can stick these all in now. I don't know, I probably missed some other ones, but did I? Or did we get them all full? I guess these ones are all good. Oh, that we still need to make. That's in there. Okay, so we're good. That's in there. So see how she's wiggling around? She needs another piece of ephemera, like antique ephemera, an invoice or something folded up and put behind her so that she quits flopping around. I really thought there was other pages. This one. So she needs to tuck over there, and this needs to tuck in there. See, it's kind of, we need a thumb hole notch right here. Now, doing thumb holes after things are glued in is not my favorite. Not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but we're going to do it. I'm trying not to cut her off and to get this somewhat in the center. It's not totally in the center. I'll live with it, but using the Stampin' Up! One to do thumb holes, The downside is it doesn't necessarily fit everywhere the other kind of thumb hole punches fit. So that will help that. So we can kind of get our journal card in and out of there. I guess it's okay. Like it's like so similar in color that it needs a little more definition. Otherwise, you almost cannot tell that there's something in there. So I'm kind of trying to make it like, look, hey, there's a journal card in here. So I keep wanting to pick this up. Those two are good. We filled that one. We need to make the little lacy cluster there. I'll add lacy clusters to the tops of all of those. These ones need inked around still, and truthfully, she needs that lacy tab at the top right here. So that's it. Everything's in there. This is where we're at. There's a couple pieces that still need to be made, but this is that. How does the sari come on and off with all the lace and the woman on the cover? It comes off just fine. The lace on the edge, it just gets pinched in. There's sturdy cardstock here. It doesn't damage it at all. It just kind of, folds in there and gets closed like that. I do this kind of closure pretty often. The only thing I will say is you cannot just tug on that sari. Like when you tie bows to the side with sari, you cannot tug on it. You have to be gentle. Most people, they're aware of what sari is or whatever, but lots of journal makers do put a little like note in or whatever. Hey, don't just yank on your sari. The other thing you could do is just go through and over sew it yourself to make sure that it didn't just separate like you saw mine do live on camera. You might do it, you might not do it. I don't know. But with the top thing, it just wraps over it. I'll position her and the wrap where it looks best, but it doesn't bother anything. Doesn't bother anything anywhere. Sari silk closures are really, really common. The wrap kind like this. The other way to do it is to put eyelets in and then tie your sari as a bow over here. I just want to use that key as the tuck in. I thought about that from the second I put the key in the kit, that that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I'm going with. We could go through and glue some lace on the bottoms, I guess. I could make those last couple pieces of ephemera. I am hesitant to work on this because the cover is so important. To me, the cover is like, I save it for the last for a reason. It's the most important thing, really, honestly, to me. It's what sells your journals. It's what people judge what's inside of your journal. Like they say, don't judge a book by its cover. For junk journals, everyone judges the book by the cover. So it's the most important thing to me, and I'm going to fuss with it. I'm going to hem and haw. It'll take me hours, literally like hours, to get it perfect. And then I will glue it on. So I assemble everything and then glue it on once I'm done. So that's why I'm hesitant to do it right here with you. But I have shown you my plan. It's just a printed lady, whatever, looked good with the cover. Cut down, glued to watercolor cardstock because it's really, really thick and rigid. And then a big bunch of lacy stuff underneath. That piece will be sewn around. I'll embellish over the top a little bit. So like if I cut her down and sew around her, then I will bring up a little bit of lacy stuff and kind of cluster the bottom, or I might cluster around the top. You guys have seen the other journals. I've kind of done the centerpiece before. So it'll be like that. And then, of course, these signature strings will have beads on them at some point. But, I got to find the perfect bead. Again, these are the details that I really do fuss over for quite some time to find the perfect beads. I do have some antique bohemian beads that I think I'm going to put on here. Check beads, basically, that I'm going to put on here. Glass beads. And maybe, they'll have metal charms at the ends. But I probably will add something in here. I haven't fully decided yet. Maybe I'll just put a tuck up here and something. I also have all of the pieces of ephemera that need paper clipped in. We haven't done any paper clipped in things. We have no paper clips in here. All of that needs done. So in reality, I have hours and hours more of work, but that's because for me, while if I put a cover piece on here and wrap it, you could call that done. But for me, I have to go further than that. I have to keep embellishing and adding the little tiny details because it's not done in my brain, right? Like it has to be decorated to the nth degree. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yes, silicone spatulas at Dollar Tree, they work great. And the glue peels right off of them. A lot of people think, well, if the glue sticks to your fingers and stuff, like, it's going to stick. It's so, it's such a strong adhesive, it will stick to silicone. It doesn't. It sticks to it momentarily, but then you can just take your finger and rub it off and it just falls right off. Yours didn't leak, but it won't stop coming out of the bottle once you open it. Well, this has been up there for a while. It's also almost empty though, so at least it's ready to use because all the glue is now down here in the front because I put it upside down, but I won't leave it overnight like that. I'm too afraid. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it time just because I do need to go take my pills, and I think I'm just going to call it time, but I kind of went over everything. I will photograph everything for you guys. If you guys want me to come on one more time, maybe after I've kind of gotten this piece done, at least on one of them, and maybe we can assemble this piece for the other two once I've got my formula down. I can do that. I can come on one more time. I'm not sure when, but I will come on one more time, maybe. Otherwise, I'll just show you guys photos on my Facebook page or Instagram or wherever you guys are watching me at. But honestly, it's pretty much there. I just like to fuss over those details. I know I don't have to, but I just do. There's special things that I like to do at the end where, to me, it's almost like I'm kind of working in the journal. I get the joy of like playing and working in here without actually writing. And so anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I really like that we added a little tab on that. It's super cute. I still need little tags for in here and a little journal card. So yeah, I have some more time, but we're getting there. We're getting, well, stay close to watch. No. Anyway, I'm not going to put a book on it till later because I have all this glue, which it's tacky, but it's not going to stick to anything. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it. Thanks for joining me on Saturday. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me last night, too. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for the live sale. I don't know if we'll do Italian this time or not. We'll see, but soon, very soon. Okay, guys. Bye. Have a good rest of your weekend. Happy Labor Day. Hopefully you guys have the day off, or at least we'll have a barbecue or some crafty time or something. Something fun. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. See you Tuesday.